So I'm Emma Insley and I help charities and social enterprises to increase their income by measuring and communicating the difference that they make and evaluating services. And I truly believe that you're effectively measuring and communicating your impact is the key to accelerating your fundraising. And by that, I mean accessing large grants, gifts and partnerships. So the first piece of pearl of wisdom I would like to share is to lead with your impact. There's a great TED talk, if you haven't seen it yet, by Simon Sinek, which is about the power of why. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Large funders don't buy the activities that you are delivering, they buy the difference that you make with those. So lead with that messaging. So many organisations are still talking about the number of people that they work with, the services they deliver, where they're based, the year they were started. Strip all of that out and really focus on the difference that you make in your key messaging. The next point is to make it relevant to funders. So different funders will require different pieces of information and impact data. Your commissioners, for example, might be really interested to hear about the savings to the public purse, whereas trusts and foundations might be more interested in the difference made to people. And philanthropists might be interested in those things, plus potentially the change that you're able to make to the system. But actually, it's important not to make generalizations and find out exactly what data your funders want to hear and when, and have a really good map for that so that you begin capturing that information at key points so that you're not scrambling around for that data at the last minute for those impact reports. The next thing to consider is, should your organisation be measuring long-term impact or outcomes? And a lot of organisations stall at impact measurement because they think that they can't measure the longer term or the broader difference that they make. And that may be true for a lot of organisations. Take a mental health project, for example. It could be a lifetime's work to cure somebody's mental health if they have a long-term and chronic condition, I would suggest. But actually, you can do a really good job at measuring whether you have had an increase in their well-being and an increase in their resilience, so their ability to manage that condition. So it's really important to make sure you've got the correct depth of impact measurement. The next thing is to have, particularly if you've got a diverse portfolio of services, to have a manageable spine of outcomes. And by that, I mean a common list of 3 to 5 outcomes that are that are achieved through most of your projects or all of your projects, and actually really focus on measuring those well rather than trying to spread yourself too thinly. It's really important with impact measurement that you measure what matters. The next point I'd like to make is that so many organisations are able to capture good stories. Others are able to capture the number of people that they work with, but few capture really good outcomes data, and then fewer still effectively engage that, communicate that through engaging visuals. So that's about the photographs for sure, but it's also about the way that you present the data, making sure that it is understandable, accessible and meaningful to your fundraising audiences. Third Sector Research Centre recently did some research and evidence review of evidence about impact data, and found that for most donors, the information they receive from charities is meaningless. And that brings me on to my final point, which is to inspire them. So don't just wait for your annual impact report to communicate your impact to funders. You can repurpose that data and break it up into bite-sized chunks to inspire your donors and supporters as part of ongoing donor stewardship plans. So make that data work really hard for you.